like you're actually cooking burgers. There you go, 2 burgers.
Virtual reality, the next step in allowing gamers to fully immerse themselves in all manner of worlds they see fit. What started as a falsely advertised gimmick is just finally reaching the heights of the idea's conceptual promise from over 2 decades ago. And with VR more accessible than ever and Facebook fully committed to their metaverse, dystopian futures like that of Ready Player One seem to be looming in the horizon. All that being said, I still have one question on my mind. Is VR the future? But with so much to do outside, why would anyone want to spend their life in VR? Well, it's less a question of want to, and more a question of have to. See, when the world stopped, nobody was allowed outside, and there was no person more affected than the student. Zoom calls and online tasks just didn't cut it. So, to figure out my thesis, I wanted to see if I could substitute a normal student's day with virtual reality by spending the next 24 hours inside of it, splitting my day up into 5 lessons, with the intention of having a productive learning day. The time is 11:18 AM, Tuesday, March the 15th, 2022. This is my home for the next day or so. This kind of white subspace grey area. Although it is 11:20, I don't have much time to lose because I've got to get through a lot today. Starting with our first lesson of the day. If you wanted to learn some history, a good bet for doing so might be picking up a book or visiting a museum. VR's solution to this is bringing the museum to you. Case in point, Anne Frank's House VR, a period-accurate recreation of the historic annex, accessible for free to anyone with a VR headset. I'm not really too sure how this is going to go. Perhaps I'll learn something and become quite culturally enriched. 2 options, story mode, tour mode. I guess story mode. After an introduction to the family and a brief moment of fear, this is kind of scary, I was left to unravel the story of Anne's journey.
Writing lets me get rid of it all. My sorrow disappears, my courage is revived. But, and that's the main question, will I ever be a journalist and a writer? I hope, oh, I do so hope I will, because writing lets me register everything, my thoughts, my ideals, and my fantasies.
I never knew she wanted to be a writer. Immediately, I was beginning to see the benefits of having this experience in VR. For one, it was free, but unlike the museum, nothing was behind glass and I could freely explore the annex by myself at my own pace. Plus, I doubt the staff would take kindly to me vaping inside. When it comes to music, my experience peaks at subpar karaoke or listening to someone else play guitar. So, when it came to entering Tribe XR, an application that teaches the user how to mix tracks like a DJ, my interest was certainly piqued. Okay, so this is one I'd say I'm actually very excited for. I saw it and I was like, yeah, that sounds wicked.
Hello DJ, my name is DJ Happa, also known as the DJ Coach. Welcome to Tribe, where you're among fellow music lovers who want to share our love and passion for music with the rest of the world. I'm here to help you get started, so let's get going.
DJ Happa was kind enough to teach me all the bells and whistles of the decks, from the fader,
I'm gonna grab it by holding the trigger in,
to EQ, whoa, and the jog wheel.
rewind it.
But with all my lessons done, there was only one thing to do. Jam. And then on the drop, yeah, you're gonna love it, you're gonna love it.
Biggie said he had the hat to match.
Oh, I fucked it. Although my first mix didn't go exactly to plan, I was still determined to make something you could at least listen to. So, I did some more lessons and loaded up some songs I was a bit more familiar with. This is really fun, you know. Like, when I'm done with this, you should really try this one. It teaches you how to do it and all. Can you hear it? Believe what I was hearing. Although it was nothing compared to a veteran DJ, in just an hour I'd managed to mix together 2 songs, and it was possible because of the peripheral I'd assumed was just another fad. But if this is possible, what else could be? I'm sure people batted eyelids at the silent rave to begin with, so who's to say that the future of clubbing isn't at a club, but at home? I didn't take geography for GCSE, so my knowledge on the subject is very limited. But when I want to take in the world around me, I might indulge in a walk in the park. But with Google Earth VR, I could take a walk anywhere I wanted. I don't think I'd ever be able to go to Mount Fuji in my lifetime, so fuck it, we're going there. This is it. This is all I can see. Okay. Let's go somewhere else. I went to a few more landmarks, but ultimately came to a realisation. This is quite boring. I was starting to miss the world, my world. And then I came to another realisation. There's no place like home. I know this place. I can finally walk down the street without being asked for change. The experience itself was quite shallow, but what did I expect? It's just street view with a fresh coat of paint. 3 lessons down though, and I'd earned a due break. Normally at lunch, I might go for food with a friend, and in a way, I could do the same in VR. At a picnic bench in the Udon Duck Park. How's it going, man?
Get some of this. Get some
Yeah,
of
man, a little of that. How's it going? Look, they eat the bread.
this. Yeah, look, watch this one. Watch this one. Fuck.
It was nice to finally see someone in front of me, so we sat down and had some lunch, until things got more hectic.
Then I'll tell you what, where should we go then?
Yeah, let's. There's a lot of people swarming us here.
There are a lot of people. Right, so let's go to a different room then.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you?
This is the kitchen. So basically, we get to wash up.
And that's it.
What about this? What about this? It looks so funny. Hey, look, because I can't see. It's not like you're actually cooking burgers.
There you go, 2 burgers up. Although working at pretend McDonald's was certainly fun, Dad had to go back to his real job, and I had to get back to the task at hand.
Sweet, man. In a bit.
In a bit, bye.
Let's lead the bloodstream through the tear to find a macrophage. We must now undergo further miniaturization.
Shut the fuck up, Alistair! Science was supposed to consist of me playing through the body VR, but what I didn't anticipate was learning a bit of a different lesson. Regardless of where I'd been today, one thing was constant. I wasn't in Amsterdam or at Mount Fuji. I was in my bedroom, meaning if my neighbour decided to play their annoyingly loud drum set, there wasn't anything I could really do about it. And because of this, I couldn't concentrate long enough to learn anything. Well, that probably would have been really cool if I hadn't heard my fucking housemate shagging his drum set the whole time. I guess we're moving on to art. Art. This is art. I'm doing art. That's what I'm doing. I've got a room here. I've never been an artistic person in the traditional sense, and that hasn't changed, because by the time I loaded up Sketchbox for my final lesson of the day, I was well and truly drained. In a way though, it was somewhat fitting, as I never exceeded in art class at school either. Well, I don't know about... I think that's art, personally. There's a scene here. You can definitely see the potential, but I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. I just pick up the knife instead. My lessons were done, my school day was finished, but my 24 hours hadn't. So I relaxed, watched some YouTube, and went to sleep. As I took my first steps back into the real world, I couldn't help but reflect back on yesterday. What was the point? What had I learned? I had some great experiences, and also had some underwhelming ones. So is VR the future? I'm not too sure. Maybe it isn't a question of want to or have to. But what I do know is that as I took in the rainy Manchester morning around me, I realised something. I had worlds to explore, tracks to mix, and burgers to flip.